Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this edition of Yorkville Sports. You're in the nest, the Eagles Nest, and I'm your host, Joe Patrick. Well, we have to take care of some business. We have to tell you about some wins from last week. And we're also going to be visited by one of the 9U North players, or maybe a couple of the 9U North players will come in and sit down and talk with us today about how their season is going. We also want to remind you about the upcoming baseball travel camp that we have coming up in August, and our 50th anniversary starting in the fall, going all the way through next spring season. So we're going to tell you all about this and more when we return to the Eagles Nest. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Do you know where we're at? We're in the Eagles Nest. And guess who just so happened to stop by? Some old guy. I don't know. We haven't seen him in a long time. Clark Wright. Clark Wright of the 12U South team. Clark.
Thanks for having me back, Joe.
What do you mean having you back?
Great to be back on the show,
Your name is still in the credits, so I don't understand. You know, he's a co-host that never shows up to work. What do you do? What are you on bankers hours or something?
I was on strike. Arlene wasn't paying me enough to come on the show.
Oh, my goodness. We got to talk about that, boss. Anyway, Clark, we have a couple of minutes before we get into the scores from last week and everything. I have to say that your team did a complete 180-degree turnaround from that first week.
We did.
Man, tell me about it. That was a rough first week. I mean, it was something I've never seen your team start so slow, sluggish.
We've always had a pretty successful team, and as Joe said, the first week we got run ruled twice, which, as I've been coached, we've never been run ruled twice before. We played a really good Bluebirds team. But we weren't prepared. We didn't have any outdoor practices, and we went in there just really cold. We were coming off the wintertime indoor gym practices, which can't simulate outdoor games at all. So we got crushed, and we started off the season 0-3, and then from there we've been on a 6-game win streak.
Wow,
Yeah.
0-3. As a matter of fact, 0-3. But you tied one of those games, didn't you?
Yeah, 0-3-1. As a coach, you don't like to talk about the ties because I'd rather win or lose than tie.
All right.
That's a little bit frustrating. But we had some big additions this year. We have a new catcher, Brandon, who's done excellent. And then we had James Winston come back, who's starting at third base. And that's a kid with a ton of talent. So it's great having him back. And a new kid, big, strong kid named Tristan, who's been coming to our games as well. So we're going to make a push for the playoffs, and from there, I think and hope we're going to do awesome job.
All right, well, it just seems like to me that you guys, you've always fielded a really, really good team. Fundamentally sound, they hit really well, they field really well. How are they mentally coming into this season with the new additions and some of the players leaving, So I know that had to affect them a little bit because your team has been together since I recall, since they were 8U. They were kind of like together the whole time, right?
Right. So I've been coaching them for 4 years, and we had a few big guys drop out, which is fine. But we brought some new guys in. But, with a new team, there's always new chemistry that needs to be recreated.
That's correct.
Like when Kevin Durant went to Golden State at first, they struggled because you have to get used to how other players play. And, so we started off slow, but now that everybody knows each other well and they're cool with each other, it's been a much more positive experience after those first few games.
All right, well, there you have it. I mean, that's how baseball is. It's a game of inches, not yards. Things happen in small increments sometimes, but when the wheels start turning, you can at least his team manufactures runs in a big way. Right. And we're going to tell you all about the big wins that they had last week when we come back to give you the rundown for last week anyway. So Clark, I know you've got a couple of the boys out there waiting to go home. You know, Clark runs our after school program here at the Yorkville Baseball Academy, and some of the kids that are on the teams that we're going to talk about today are products of that after school program. So,
yeah, 9U South, I believe, has like 4 or 5 or 6 kids that have been in the after school program. Yeah. So we're turning some studs out of the after school program for sure.
Yeah. In fact, we're looking at one of them over there. He's in the back over there in the studio, and that's little Josh Eagle. Remember, we don't say last names here because all our kids' last name is Eagle. Why? Because they're our kids and they're all Eagles. All right. We don't have to tell you their last name. If you don't know their last name, tough. You don't have to give you the
When they make it to the league, you'll know.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. All right, so that's all for Clark right now. He's got to go. When we return, we're going to give you the rundown from last week and tell you all about that travel camp in Camp Pontiac this year. All right? Cool. Thanks, Clark, for coming in.
Thanks for having me back. Good to be back.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we're going to give you the scores, at least the winning scores from last week, the winning scores that were sent in to us by Director Kylie Jones. We don't have in fact, we don't have all of the losing scores, but I'll just tell you this. If you don't hear me say that you won, you lost. What we got to do is just keep our heads in the game, and guys, listen. It's all about this practice. I keep trying to tell you, practice, like I was just talking about, talking to Clark Wright of the 12U South team. You know, his team practices hard, and you guys got to get in here and do the same thing. Well, without further ado, our 8U team, hey, look, these guys had nothing but losses in the beginning of the season. Now all they're doing is winning. I mean, these are the little guys. I mean, they're tiny mites. They're no bigger than a bug. If you walk fast enough, you might squish one of them. They're so tiny. They're so small. They won their game against the YBNR. I don't know what that acronym stands for, YBNR. Somebody's got to hit me to what's going on over there. But they beat their guys, those guys, 10-2 in the first game and 13-1 in the second game. Now that's a licking. That just keeps sticking. Just like last week, they did it last week. I only expect for them to do it again this week. That's if the rain stays away. You know, we haven't had very good success with with the rain this year. You know, it just keeps coming. Last year we pushed it away. This year it just keeps coming. All right, so we're going to go to 9U North. That's the 9U North team. They're inside the gym right now practicing or swinging out or doing whatever they do with those bats. They played the House of Sports, and I have to tell you, this team right now has a 6-3-1 record going into this week's games. And in fact, this week's game is against the Spartans White. So, you know, we're going to talk about that in a minute with, we have young James that's going to come out here and talk to us about their team, his team, and what's going on in a minute. So they played House of Sports. They won 17-6 and 9-6, 17-6, 9-6. I guess they like giving up 6 runs. I don't know what it is. They just keep giving the other team 6 runs. But as long as we keep scoring more than the other guys do, hey, look, what difference does it make? Just win, baby. Right? Well, that's what my mom said. Just win, baby. Anyway, so with that said, we're going to talk to young James about that in a couple of minutes. We had our 11U North team. They played the Knights last week. They won 11-6 in their win and in their first game, and they won 14-3 in the next game. So that means when our teams win, they just seem to win big. I don't know what it is. They don't like guys getting close to them, not unless you're the 9U North team and then you just give up 6 runs every time. I don't know what it is. We got to talk about that 6. I don't like 6s. Add another 6 in. Is that the sign of somebody that, oh, we won't even get into that. It's all good. It's a holy thing around here. Anyway, our 12U South team, that's Clark Wright's team, the guy who was just sitting here, my co-host, who doesn't like to come and host anything. His team is just rolling right along. As he said, they took a tough 2 weeks of the first 2 weeks of the season was really tough for them, and these guys just rebounded, and they're on a 6-game winning streak. So Clark and Nick Hazenberg, the coaches of the team, just keep moving, just keep doing what you're doing, and I'm quite sure we're going to see you in the playoffs. We hope to see you in the playoffs. We better see you in your playoffs. All right. We don't talk about that. Hiccup right there. Anyway, 12U South, they won their first game 4-1. And in their second game, they just decided that these guys were not what they thought they were. It was the Titans white, and that's supposed to be the best team that the Titans have. They beat them 12-2. So 4-1 first game, 12-2 second game. Hey, that's how you spank the guys. All right, and then we're going to round it out, the winning teams, with our 15U team. That's the big guys. They play 60-90. That's like that's playing regulation baseball. They won their first game 7-4. And they had a rain out in the second game. Like I said, last week, it was pretty bad in terms of the weather. So anyway, that's Brad Shaw's team. And Brad, as I said, I miss you guys. I don't see you anymore. And all of the old guys, remember when they were little, now they're big men, grown men. These guys are, some of them are bigger than I am. And taller anyway, not bigger, because, you can't be bigger than an eagle. I'm the biggest eagle around here. Anyway, so Brad, keep up the good work, guy. If you can, stop in and see us before the season is out. All right, so that's it for the report. When we come back, we're going to have young James of the 12U North team. He's going to sit and talk to us a couple of minutes about his game, his team, and this season. All right, and then we're going to close it out. Okay, when we return to the Eagles Nest. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and as promised, we have young James Eagle, because you know why? Because all our kids' names are Eagle. That's right. If you don't know their last name, you don't need to know it. I know it. That's all that matters right here. Anyway, James, how are you, James?
I'm good.
That's good. That's good. Now, you know what? I hear that you have a 6-3-1 record.
Yes, that's true.
All right. So how does it feel to be on the winning side of this thing?
It feels nice because last year we didn't really do good and we got rained out a lot, and we haven't been rained out once for a game.
Well, better you than some of the other teams, or better the other teams than you, because they've been getting rained out these days. So anyway, how many of the guys from last year are with you this year? Did your team turn over a little bit? You got a couple
Sort of.
new players?
We got like 3 or 4 new players.
Okay.
But when back last year, I had to go to somewhere and I couldn't play, and Josh, he had to fill in for me.
Oh, you're the guy that Josh filled in for. Well, you know what? First of all, I just have to say, sometimes you got to do what you have to do.
Yeah,
but
it was Family Matters.
Well, there you go. What happened? Family Matters. Isn't that a show on TV? Are you in that too?
No.
Oh, all right, Family Matters. Anyway, but Josh he's a really good player, decent player. He's a good addition to the team. Him and they had a couple other guys. I think Paul was supposed to be here with us today, but obviously he couldn't make it. So what do you think about those new guys?
Well, Justin, he can have some power.
Okay.
But he's hitting well.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also getting on base a lot, but he's also getting a lot of walks and some strikeouts.
Well, anyway, walks turn into runs because
Yes.
you got to get on, get over, and get in. No matter what happens, a walk is just as good as a hit.
Yes.
So let's talk about hitting. How's your hitting? What are you doing?
Well, I've not really been getting the ball to my bat because the ball's been outside and I didn't really have a chance.
Okay.
But on our second game, the one that we were supposed to do, but we started early, on our second game, I hit an RBI double
Okay.
that scored in 2 runs. And so that's, and then I didn't really get any hits last game.
Okay. But how are you doing overall for the season? Overall,
My average is 338.
So you count your number? You keep your own stats?
No, my friend Zach, his
Okay.
dad keeps the stats because he's kind of like a coach. He goes in and keeps the order and notes out how what we get, Ks or strikeout.
Okay. All right. So now, in terms of the camaraderie of the team. And what I mean by that, the togetherness. Do you guys like playing together?
Yeah,
huh?
we love playing together. We work well together. Everybody in our team puts in something that we really need to win.
All right. Well, winning is what you do because you have more wins than you have losses, and wins can somewhat, you can attribute that to good defense. How is
Yes.
your defense?
Well,
Where do you play? What position do you play?
I'm a catcher, and I play second when I'm not playing catcher. I'm the start-off catcher,
Okay.
and I'm a good second baseman. I recently dropped a fly ball that popped out of my glove.
At least he's honest. He's letting us know when he's not doing everything right. All right, go ahead.
Because I wasn't using two hands, but I got back on a ground ball to me thrown to Paul when he was playing first.
All right, so now let me ask you something. You're a pretty short guy. Now, can you make a throw on a line drive from home plate to second plate to second base? Can you make that throw?
I can make that throw, but I don't always make it, but I can make it. And
Okay.
with a bounce or without a bounce, I've been working on it during the off season.
Let me ask you something. Have you thrown anybody out so far?
No.
Had you had the opportunity to tag somebody out at home plate?
Yes, I've had some opportunities, but the ball was always not out of.
So you didn't make it?
I didn't make it, but I at least got the ball from anybody scoring 2 times.
Okay. What's the biggest hit that you had this year?
I'd say the RBI double.
RBI double. Okay, so anyway, now, what about your coaches?
They're nice. They know how to play the team, even though it's their first year coaching.
Okay.
What I think is they're really nice. They know how to strategize and put players at different positions and put them at other places and in the batting order. And that's how I like it. He knows how to put speed and power in the lineup.
Right, nice. All right, so now if there was anything that you wanted to say to somebody out there, anyone out there, what would you say to them out there? What do you want to thank somebody?
I want to thank Colin for hitting all those RBI triples.
Okay.
Because he's been doing that a lot and hitting really nicely.
And anything you want to say to somebody who has a special day coming up this weekend? And anybody you want to say this? Bob, okay, Bob. All right. Well, Bob, we're gonna.
Mom, my mom.
Oh, he got it right. What rhymes with Bob? Mom. Oh, okay. Anyway, guys. So, hey, listen. So, what do you want to say to your mom?
Just be happy and keep my sister happy.
Okay, if you're happy and you know it, keep your sister happy. I guess that's what's going to that's what it is, guys. It's all about that. You don't have to worry about picking that up. James, I know you have to get back in the gym right now and get back to your swing out, so we're going to let you go. This is young James Eagle. Remember, because all our boys' names are Eagle. He's from the 9U North team, and they're taking a 6-3-1 record into play the Spartans White this weekend. And you know what we do with them Spartans. Spartans run around the ground. Eagles, I'll tell you all about those talents in a minute. So more when we return to the Eagles Nest. We're going to close it out with who we're playing next week and tell you about that Camp Pontiac. All right, guys? We'll see you soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's it. That's all we have for this week. But right now, we're going to tell you about the teams in which we're going to be playing May 14th. That's this weekend coming up this Sunday. Our 8U team will be playing the Spartans. Our 9U North team will be playing Spartans White. 9U South team will be playing Spartans Gray. 10U North team will be playing Spartans White. 10U South will be playing Spartans Green. Again, I don't know how many colors these Spartans have or anything like that. Rainbow, I think. Our 11U teams will be playing each other. Somebody's going home like that between these 11U teams. Maybe they'll split. That's what we can hope for. They'll split their games. Our 12U North team will be playing Asphalt Green. 12U South will be playing East Side Rockets, and our 15U team, our big boys, and Brad Shaw and all those guys will be playing the New York Bulldogs. So with that said, we want to tell you about our travel baseball camp, our August baseball camp. It's for 8U all the way up to 14U. It's going to be from Monday, August 21st through August 25th. That's a whole week. It's the bus will pick you up, take you there. Meals are included, everything like that. There's going to be a lot of team building, a lot of games, a lot of strength and agility practice. Calisthenics and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. All that kind of stuff is going on. And you can get more information by going to 212-360-0022 and ask for Kylie Jones. He'll tell you more about it. I don't want to tell you the cost because if you're really interested, you'll just go online and you'll figure it out yourself. But again, that's Camp Pontiac. It's upstate New York. The tackle football team will be there, so you guys will be challenging each other. There's all kind of plays that are going to go on at the end. So just go and have a good time. It's all leading up to our 50th anniversary, which will 50 years of being in the community. Now that's a milestone for any program. So starting this August, September, in the fall, we will be celebrating our 50th anniversary all the way through the spring of next year. We have galas, a gala that is scheduled. We have some giveaways. We have some discounts. A lot of stuff that's going to go on with the Yorkville 50th anniversary this year. We're set up for fall right now. If you go to our website yyaa.org, you will see the fall schedule. The fall list is up, so you can start registering for the fall. Okay, and as I said, we're Eagles, and as Eagles, we fly higher than anybody else, and we come down on whole teams with our talents, and we grab them by the talents, and we shake them around, and we shake things up to bring about the best possible travel programs here in New York City. And again, if you want to hear more about it, just call us at 212-360-0022, or just go to yyaa.org, click on the program of your choice, and sign up. Remember, we're signing up for the fall 50th anniversary coming up. All right, guys. So, I got to go. I don't want to tell you how many times we've gone through this, but hey, look, you'll never know. I'm Joe for Arlene Verger. We'll see you next week.